Right, hello people. Sorry I look so terrible. I've not been feeling too well lately. It's why I'm so unshaven and revolting. Anyway, I'm going to do now what I have been hoping to do for some years now. I filmed several versions of this many years ago. It's about this book, Marvin Gets Mad, by Joseph Theobald. It is the most acid trip of a book that I've ever seen in my life, and I have to say, I ought to give you a bit of backstory behind it. I bought it when I was out in Bournemouth, I think it was. I was in charge of several children, and my friend, who's a year or two younger than me, we went into Waterstone's bookshop and he started looking around for science fiction. If you leave that friend that I'm talking about looking for science fiction, he'll be in there forever. So I sat down with the children, picked a book at random, and decided to get this. And so he said, this is what you see when you open it. I had to buy it. Amazing. It's the sort of thing I was seeing when I was 15, and I'll tell you the story behind that in another video, perhaps. But anyway, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something that I used to do with my cousins. Rather than tell you exactly what happens in it, I'm going to show you the illustrations and invent what I think the pictures are really saying. So, once upon a time there were two lovely little sheep, one of whom was called Marvin. They loved apples so much, and over here you can see that one of the trees has been stripped bare, and sadly the sheep over here has dropped dead from having eaten so much. You can see the vultures are over here coming down to peck at it, and you can see that it's all going fine and hunky-dory in this area. He's none too bright, this sheep, Marvin. He sort of wants to become the Ovician equivalent of Sir Isaac Newton, but can't quite wait for the apple to fall down. He thinks somehow that moving further away from it will make it easier to reach it. I mean, it actually says he wants to eat this apple and somehow can't reach it. Never mind, we'll carry on. And then he faints, sadly. Most sadly, as his friend starts eating the apple, you can see over here yet another sheep has dropped dead. It's most sad, the way that they keep going like this. I think the apples are poisonous. And you can see as well how she suddenly starts using her terrible hypnotic powers to paralyze him. It's quite a horror story, this. And now I'm going to actually read what it says. Marvin was so mad, he grew mad teeth, mad horns, mad feet, and mad tail. And I think that mad here is the sort of Americanized word of using mad in terms of angry. How any of these can be adjectives for feet and horns and teeth, I've no idea, but there you are. And now I'm going to actually read this part again. Calm down, said Molly. No, shouted Marvin, and he stamped the flowers. And he knocked over the chicken shed, frightened the ducks, and bit a cow's tail. But she had 5 teats on her udders, so she probably deserved it. And then he gets struck by lightning. It's a very sad story. There's a terrible, monstrous earthquake. He falls down and falls flat. Closes his eyes and faints. And somehow, miraculously, I'm not even making this part up, his friend knows the way out. Even though he's just caused this himself, he doesn't know the way out. But his friend Molly does. Alright. And then he wants a pair And they're poisonous as well, evidently, because you can see how they've killed this little fellow over here. It's quite tragic. I mean, I assumed at this point that he dreamt the whole thing, but no, it really did happen. Moral of the story is, don't take drugs if you're a sheep.